Hello everyone, my name is Keya Murthy and I am a clinical hypnotherapist at the Ventura Healing Center, and my website is, as you can see, it's www.coachkeya.com, and I offer a free discovery session to anyone who's open for it, where we can talk about whatever is going on that you need to just break through, whether it's your relationship, health, money, finances, fitness, whatever. Okay, so I always give that to everyone, because unless you try it, why would you buy it? You know, unless you know who I am and where I'm coming from, why would you want to even take a look at it, you know? And this is not about me. Okay, so this training over here is about you. So I have prepared a slide presentation so I can stay on track and not go off tangent, but it's about you. So at any time you have any question, just raise your hand and I will pause and, you know, answer your questions. I heard people saying what's neuro-linguistic programming? So first I will address that before we get into hypnosis. And before that, I'm going to go backwards. I'm also an international best-selling author, so I have books in the back. And next time I'm here, we will be doing a workshop on goal getting, because anyone can set goals. But how do you get your goals? You know, so that's crucial. And what's the difference between goal setting and goal getting? Because when we are setting our goals, we are using our conscious mind. And our conscious mind has logic, you know, it has reasoning, it has decision-making abilities, analytical faculties, and your willpower, okay? But your subconscious mind is where you have your belief system, your memories, your opinions, and that is what dictates your behavior. And any behavior you repeat it 21 times, it becomes a habit. And once a habit is repeated over and over again, it becomes an addiction. And then it's no longer your habit, but the habit is in charge of you, okay? So neuro-linguistic programming, what it does is helps you work with your subconscious in a healthy way, so you can let go of the baggage that is keeping you from getting your goals, okay? It helps you communicate with your subconscious mind. So, and when you really go through this program, the program is a 6-hour Prosperity Makeover. When you go through that program, what you get is exactly the details of how to do it. The how-to is over there. So today I'm just I'm introducing an idea to you so you can go home with a few seeds and allow it to sprout within you. And then, you know, eventually you will get it, and then you will want more of it, okay? So that's why this is over here for you. So, and when you were talking about neuro-linguistic programming, what is neuro-linguistic programming? Neuro-linguistic programming was founded around the mid-70s by a speech specialist and a software engineer. They got together, kids in their 20s, and they would be like, okay, how did they do this? And then what they came up with, our language. In our language, only 7% is the words we use. 7% is the words. Most of it is our body language. And then beyond that is our emotions we are feeling in that moment. In that moment, the emotions you feel is how the words are perceived. So it's not the words used by the person, it's how they are feeling about the words that they are hearing. That is what neuro-linguistic programming helps you understand, and then helps you to create a new language pattern. And the most important thing is, it's not the words you say too. You will keep asking, like, why isn't it the words? It's the emotion behind the words. Let's say I come and I tell you, hey, you look good in white today. And you might ask, like, what does that mean really? Why did she say that? How often has she seen me? What does she know about me? Like, does she like white? Do I look good in white? And you have all these thought patterns. And that day, if you are really not having a very good day, you'll be like, oh, whatever, sure. And if you're having a very good day and you're like, wow, she really liked this sweatshirt of mine, you know. So it had nothing to do with the words I used, but it had everything to do with the emotion you were experiencing in that moment. So does that make sense? Okay. The other linguistic is the socio-linguistic. And the socio-linguistic is the language we use externally. So neuro-linguistic is all about your own internal conversations, and socio-linguistics is how that is projected out into the society in your interaction with each other. Okay? Does anyone have any more question on NLP, just to understand? Okay, good. So before we get into the 6-hour prosperity makeover, so the 6 steps. So first is to learning to decide, okay, to define what is prosperity. So this is the definition in the dictionary. It is a successful, flourishing, or thriving condition, especially in financial respects and good fortune. So when you think of prosperity, immediately what's the first thing that comes? Financial prosperity, right? That's the thing that comes to mind. But do you believe that a person who has the money has everything? No. What if that person doesn't have good health? Then all the money is going to the doctors. What if that person has a wife or a husband suing him or her? Then all the money is going to the lawyer. So that's really not prosperity. So you need to define prosperity for yourself. Okay? It's not about what the dictionary says. And for some people, you'll be like, okay, screw everyone, I'll just go for money, So good for them, because that's their model of the world. So for each of you individually, you have to define it for yourself. So if you're taking notes, write this down. Like, what does prosperity mean to me? Okay? And what it means to me under a certain condition may not mean to be at another time of the day or night. Would you agree with that? Yeah. So you really have to gain clarity on what prosperity means to you. Okay? Like you were asking over there, Shauna, about a sale, because you believe in this, right? But how do you get your message across to someone else so they start believing what you do? And here is the key to that. Your conversation should not be from your head. Because when it is going up from your head, guess where it's hitting? Against their head. So a head-to-head conversation it's taking you nowhere. So don't get into your conscious mind. You have to drop into your subconscious and speak from your heart. Be authentic. Like how you were saying, the previous company that you were did not work out, and now you are here in this. So that was real. So what did that make for me? I was like, oh, it's not that, oh my God, her first thing didn't work. I don't know if this one will work or not. But to me, personally, it was like, wow, she's an authentic person. I want to know more, So you had trials. So your trials and my trials connected with each other. Now I want to know more about it. And that's what you should do. You have to be willing to be vulnerable. It's the key to any sale. And a sale is not like when the money comes into your pocket. When you're talking to your children, that's a sale. When you're talking to your partner, that's a sale. When you're talking to your boss or your client, everything is a sale. You're constantly selling yourself. So don't be afraid of sales. Okay? America was built on the foundation of sales. Would you agree? Anyone who made it to the pages of history in America sold something. Yeah? So sales is not a bad word. It's not a 4-lettered word. Okay? Always remember that. You're just having a conversation from your heart to someone else's heart. And when you speak from your heart, guess how your message is being received. Is it hitting against their head? No. It goes into their heart. Okay? Because then it's from a human to human. When people ask me, what is my business? Is it business to business or business to consumer? And this is what I always say, it's a human to human business. It's a H to H business. It's not a B2B or a B2C. It's a different paradigm. And you have to adopt it. Because the old paradigm doesn't work anymore. I promise you that. Okay? So now when you define it for yourself, okay? So I had to, before I can ask you to define it for yourself, I had to define it for myself. So for me, it is staying in a constant state of joy. So does this mean like I'm giddy happy, like I'm silly happy, not stop all the time? No. But within my heart, I have a sense of joy. So, and that is what works for me. So this is how I defined it for myself. So you have to find your own definition. You can borrow mine, but definitely get something for yourself. The next thing that I had was I don't know why the second one didn't come out. Let's try it again. Okay. So I'm going to read it out since it's looking very tiny over here. Being helpful. I always like to help people. Okay, and I'm sure you all do too. Grateful. Gratitude. I want to emphasize on that. Gratitude is the bridge between having and not having. You can always focus on what you don't have, right? But then guess what? You will create more of what you don't have. So if you want to step from not having to having, what is the bridge? Gratitude. Be grateful for what you have today, not yesterday. Can you be grateful for yesterday? No, yesterday is dead and gone. Can you be grateful for future? No, it doesn't exist yet. Only what happened today. Be grateful for that. You have to be generous. You can't say, I'll be generous when I have $1 million. If you have one and you can't break it and give someone the half, do you think when you have 10, you will give away 5? Practice generosity, because there's always someone who has less than you. Okay, it is important. And in a state of service, like we have elections, right? And this is a democratic country. We have elections, we elect people, and then what do they think? What is the attitude? Why do we hate our elected politicians? Because they think they are there to rule, isn't it? Isn't that the attitude that comes across to us? I'm here to rule. But actually, what are they there for? To serve. So remain in a state of service. What makes a great leader? A greater servant. Look, what does Melinda do over here? She's always doing all these things. Why? For her downline people, not for the people up there. Because she wants to be of service. Because she has done it once, you guys just copy and paste it. You guys just duplicate it, right? So to be in a state of service, that is the hallmark of a great leader. That's a hallmark of prosperity. While remaining ecological. How many of you understand the word ecological? What's your name?
Rosalie.
Rosalie? What does ecological mean?
It's like, I think it's more like being concerned about the environment, and like my big thing is like recycling and batteries in the trash like freak me out. I'm like,
yes.
What are you doing? But
yes. And what did you have as definition?
pretty much the same thing.
Okay.
Down to grassroots.
Okay. Here is, because, and that is like too big. Now if you're trying to bring someone else in and help them and share this presentation with them and they say ecological, and they'll be like, you know what, I don't have food for my own bread and water. What are you telling me about recycling now? They're not going to buy it from you. So how do you send ecological to them at that time? Here's my trick, NLP. If it's good for you, good for your friends and family, good for your community, good for your nation, and good for the planet, then that is ecological. Does that make sense? Because you have to break it down. In NLP, this the whole thing is to get specific as you can. If it is just good for you, that's not good enough. It has also got to be good for your loved ones, because then people can think beyond themselves. Then it has to be good for your community, because this is the place you live. These are your neighbors. And what about your state and your nation? And people are like, yeah, sure, I want it to be good for them too. And then the planet. Because if it's hurting the planet, then it's not good for the country. And if it's not good for the country, it's not good for the state. And if it's not good for the state, not good for the community, not good for community, not good for your neighbors, and not good for you. So you can, if you could break it down to them that way, then they'll get it. Okay? So why is a prosperity mindset crucial for entrepreneurs? Why do you need to stay in this prosperity mindset? And I do not want you to think about it. I want you to feel about it. It has to drop from your head into your heart. I will keep on repeating that. Okay? So why is it important? First of all, it helps you have a clear vision. Okay? You need to have clarity on why you want to make a sale to this one person. How would it help that person? Because the vision you see, now you have to get them to see it through your eyes, right? So you have to get into that state where you can help them see it the way you see it. For example, do you have children? Anyone has children over here? How do you convince your child that this is the right thing to do? And in olden days, they used to bring out the belt. Can you do that anymore? Bring out the belt to convince your child? No. You have to sell them on your dream, on your idea. You have to make them see it the way you see it. And how do you do that? When they know you are on their side. When they know you are on their side. Basically, you see it as they see it. And that's how it works. So pretend your potential customers or your prospects are teenagers. And with teenagers, what works? Because teenagers have no concept of fear. They absolutely have no concept of fear. So they are not going to, no power pressure is going to work with them, is it? What do you have to do? How does it work with teenagers? You have to become their friend, their peer. So when you are presenting an idea to a prospect, you have to become their friend first. You have to be their peer. Because if they come and tell you that their car broke down, you can't say like, oh, too bad, just sign up in my program. And then they'll be like, they don't get it. They don't understand my pain. You know? So you have to relate to their pain. So you become their friend. And once that is done, then guess what happens? Then all the people you sign up will bring up their who sign up to your events. So focus on that. Okay, to be their friend. So that is the clarity, you know. So without knowing what you want, you cannot have it. So remember, what do you want? The prosperity mindset we were talking about, first of all, you have to define your own set of values. Okay, what does it mean to be prosperous? And then you have to know what you want. When you know that, when you have that clarity, what's the next thing you need is focus. You have to focus on it. You have to laser beam on it. Okay? Usually in network marketing companies, women sign up before. But who are the people you see on stage? Men. Learn something from that. Men have foveal vision. When they look at something, this is how they go. Women, they can see everything over here. Women make great drivers during the daytime. During the daytime, women don't have so many car accidents. You know that? Because women can see everything, and at night women can't drive because they have only this much to see, and they're like, what's happening on this side? Is their blind spot. So the brain just gets messed up. Women need this, and men need this. You need a four-wheel vision. You have to be extremely focused. When you're doing your work, you're doing your work. You cannot do anything else. Okay, you cannot get distracted by anything else. Okay. You might ask, what is a firm? You have to have your personal, extremely personal mission statement. Why are you here on this planet? Why are you doing this business? This is not just about your business, it's about your life. You have to write out your own personal mission statement. What is your mission here? Every great company has a mission, don't they? And you are your company, aren't you? What is your mission statement? I'll ask you. Next time I come, you guys better have a mission statement. I'm going to quiz you. And then, the environment. We already talked about that. Because it has, the universe will help you when you are on the side of universe. You are here to help the universe, somehow. So that has to be part of your mission statement. Does that make sense? Okay, thank you. Because like I said, it's not about me. I'm just introducing ideas. But you have to take it and make it your own. So we have defined why we need a prosperity mindset. The next thing is, what is a prosperity mindset? So for me, the external environment does not affect my internal reality. I'll give you an example. Happiness. Okay? Where do you find it? In your heart. Let's say you're very happy and you're driving and going home, and suddenly in front of you there's an accident. Okay? Do you continue to be happy? But can you help the people in front of you who just now got hurt in front of your eyes if you get sucked into their pain? No. No. So you have to maintain your own internal thermostat, no matter what the temperature is outside. No matter what's going on in the world, you have to keep your internal balance, your internal equanimity, your internal peace, your internal happiness. And then you can be of better service to someone else. Because if someone comes with their sorrow to you, with their hurt, their pain to you, and you get sucked into their hurt, their pain, their sorrow, can you really help them? Think about it. No. So your external environment should not affect your internal reality. And how do you maintain that? You have to be okay with who you are right here and right now. There's two things that you have always got to work with. One is time and one is space. There's nothing else. Money will come and go, relations will come and go, health will come and go, everything come, friends will come and go. The only two things you have is time and space. And I get into details, more details in the program, but you have to take this. I'll give you a small example. At this moment, whatever you are experiencing, if you are outside this room, would you have the same experience in the same moment? You cannot. Okay, that's number one. So that is space. Okay, think about the time. Like today, whatever is the time now, 7:30, 8 o'clock. Tomorrow, 7:30 or 8 o'clock. Will you have the same experience? Even if you come back to this room, the same space? No. So you have to be okay with who you are. For others to be okay with you, you have to be okay with who you are. That's crucial. Okay? So how do you acquire this prosperity mindset? As you evolve, your priorities will change. Think about yourself a month ago, last month, this day, the 1st of September 2015. Where were you? Do you still have the same emotions and feelings that you had then? The same thought pattern from a month ago? No. Think of 1 month from today. I'm not even talking years or decades. 1 month from today, November 1st. Will you have the same emotions, feelings, thought patterns, same belief system? No. Okay? So you are constantly changing. There is a song, I'm working on my masterpiece. You know? So you are a work of art. You are a masterpiece and you're constantly working on it. You have to remember that. And as you keep changing, the world around you will keep changing. So you need to learn to rewrite that script. There's a script that's running your programming. Your likes and dislikes, that needs to change. What was the old paradigm as a child? Stranger danger, right? Don't talk to strangers because there's a danger in that, right? So what should be the new paradigm? A stranger is just a friend waiting to happen. Even if they never buy anything from you, you found a friend because they might have someone else. So treat people the way you want to be treated. Because in network marketing, one thing I have seen, oh, they didn't buy from me. Next. This is what people think. We live in a very small community over here. It's like a village. We call it a city, but it's really a village. Everybody knows everybody. Anything happens, it's out there on the Facebook. Right now we have a global village going on. Mm-hmm. So no, they are your friends. You have to care for them. Because they will be there for you too. That is a prosperity mindset. Because if you're saying, no, these are my friends and only this much, that's not prosperity, that is scant. That's poverty, okay? You have a software running you. There's a software within you. You have to upgrade that software. Every year you get a new iPhone, right? A new phone, a new computer, a new car. What about a new you? You need that. So for things to change, you have to change. That's the only way. Because either you can create change or be a victim of change. Be changed by the circumstances. So what would you rather be? Are you going to change yourself, or are you going to allow things to change you? So you have to create that change. Otherwise you will get changed. So in order to be prosperous, you have to have your personal prosperity blueprint. And that happens from working through your subconscious behaviors and your patterns. What I liked when you put things into your mouth. Do you do it like mechanically, unmindfully? Or do you do it because at this moment this is what I need? My body needs this. Do you go eat it? Like once I met this lady and she was just sitting and I said, did you have your lunch? She says, yeah. I'm like, what did you eat? Some poison. I'm like, why? Why do you eat poison? Oh, I just went to Taco Bell. I'm like, you ate food and you're calling it poison. What is that food doing to your body right now? And if you really thought it was poison, why did you eat it? So these are simple things that you need to be mindful of. You have to align your conscious thoughts with your subconscious belief system. Because anything, today's world of information and technology, anything you need to know, you can find it on Google, right? Or you can hire a teenager. How many of you have teenagers at home? Hire a teenager. They know everything. Okay? But that is just your conscious mind. What's really running your script is your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind, like I said, you need to upgrade the software because that belief system, because we human beings, we oscillate between pleasure and pain. Okay? And what do we want? We want more pleasure and less pain. So pleasure is not the avoidance of pain. That is just a coping mechanism. That's a drug. What you really need to do is be objective about what hurts you. And be objective of what you are drawn towards. And when you gain that objectivity, then guess what? You can move into the flow. So I go into a lot of detail in the program. But really to think about your conscious thoughts, you have to think about the thoughts that come into, that arise within you. When you feel like, oh, maybe I don't know, whatever, just stop right there and ask yourself, where did those thoughts come from? What makes me think about it? So through self-analysis, you can go within and find your answers. And then you have your friends, you have each other. Talk to each other. Start a mastermind group. What are you doing? This is what's working for me. And you have to do that. You can't be, oh no, this is my secret. I'm not going to tell them. No. Do that with each other. And then you can bounce your ideas off of each other. And together you can all rise. So focus on that. Daily duties to increase investments in the mental bank. The program goes into a lot of detail of this. But every night when you go to bed, do you know that half an hour before bedtime, when you are not fully asleep but not fully awake? Do you know that time? Okay? Because if your child comes to you with a, Mom, I need this, and you're like, no, honey, not now. If your husband comes and tells you, what do you think we should do tomorrow? And you're like, oh, not now. Let's talk about it tomorrow. That is the time when you are drifting into a hypnoidal state. You naturally get into the state where you're like, I don't want to think anymore, I just want to go to bed. That is the time when you can reprogram your subconscious. That is the time when you can give yourself suggestions. The next thing is, why is prosperity so elusive? Because you have all the formulas, right? There are all the gurus telling you everything that you need to do. Then why is prosperity so elusive? Why is it hard to feel prosperous? It is never the how to. People ask, how do I make this sale? How do I make money? It's the why. You're asking the wrong questions. Ask yourself, why do I deserve to be prosperous? And the answer should not be, why not? That's a very cocky answer. That's loaded with ego. Why do you believe you deserve the sale today? Why do you believe you deserve whatever, $1,000 a week? That's not too much to ask. Whatever it is, why? And write it down. Don't just think your thoughts that lead to emotion. And don't talk to people who will run away from you the next time they see you and say, oh my God, that's all she wants to do every time. Okay? Talk to people that you can mastermind with. And ask this question of yourself and tell them, do you think I'm really crazy? And they might tell you you're crazy, but that's okay. You know what I'm saying? But still, be honest with yourself. Be candid with yourself. So ask yourself, why do you deserve to be prosperous? Next, if your why does not make you cry, then you will never fly. I like rhyming words. But think about it. Your reason should be so big that you have to become vulnerable. You have to touch your own heart before you can touch anyone else's. Because this is not a job. This is not a 9 to 5. You show up and you get the paycheck at the end of every 2 weeks or whatever the cycle they have out there, depending on which company. It is your business. You go to bed with it and you wake up with it. So it has to make you cry every day. Unless you get to that place of your reason for being here, for doing what you do, you are all giving up being at home, watching TV, having dinner, whatever, snuggling with your loved ones over here. Why? Because this is important for you. So when you are talking to people, you have to get to their buttons. What is important for them? Because anytime they say, oh, because they'll sign up because they love you, and then they have buyer's remorse. And what do you tell them? You take them back to their why. Remember, this is your story. You told me why you joined this business. When you can take them back to that, they'll be like, wow, she remembers my story. He cares. You got them. Your reason to succeed must be bigger than your excuse for failure, because it's very easy to say why you failed, why you don't want to get out of bed. But your reason to succeed, why? Why do I do what I do? That has to be so important that every morning you have to have a reason to get out of bed. And it cannot be because my dog has been whining, she needs to go out. It has to be bigger than that. The last thing over here is, how do you get people to say yes to you? You need to have clarity on your own internal conversations. It's better to not make a sale than make a sale and not have the person show up, run away from you, and not respond to your text. Or that is more rejection, right? When they first said yes and later on they say no. What happened? What did I do? Because it's not about you, it's about them. And you are not Macy's or Walmart who will be like, all right, here, take your money back and return your product. You can't do that. You're a small business owner. So your own internal conversation. Why do you? Because when someone says yes to you, what are they really saying? They are asking you, can you help me fulfill my dream? So you have to ask yourself, can I help this person fulfill their dream? And the answer will be yes, is when you are fulfilling your own dream. It's hard, but you can do it. Your mission must be personal, not a generic mission. Your company has a mission statement, but you need to have your personal mission statement. It can't be a generic one. You can't borrow from anyone else. It has to come from you. You have to remain at cause, not at effect. Remember when I was talking about you create the change and not become part of a change. Change happen, and that's why. Because now this is in fashion, so that's why I wear this color. No. I wear this color and everyone thinks I look cool. Now everybody wants to wear this color. That's how you should be. You have to understand your audience. Whoever you're speaking to, you have to understand what is it that they are here for. What is it that they need out of this program. And when you know that, you can deliver. And they will feel it and they will say yes to you. Suggestibility. This is a very important thing. When you talk to people, you have to understand how they take in information. Remember when I was talking about the white jacket? Let's say I walk up to a person and I say, hey, you look good today. And the person says, oh, thank you. What do you think? How do you think the person takes in information? Literally or inferentially? People who take things as it is, as they hear it, they take in information literally. Those people want short, sweet statements. But if you tell someone, you're looking good today, and then they say, what does she mean by saying, I look good today? Right away you know that these are inferential people and they need a lot of information. So here is how you get a yes from both of them. Because a person who wants the short and sweet statements, you give them the information and you tell them, okay, you can take this home and come back to me. And they'll be like, what do you mean come back to you? I'm ready right now with my credit card. Because they are feeling rejected. They're like, she doesn't want me to sign up right now. And people who are inferential, if you tell them, all right, sign here on the dotted line, they're like, what do you mean dotted line? I need to read the whole thing. They'll be like, yeah, and I'll send you more information on the website and you can take this over here. And they'll be like, wow, they really care about me. So when can I talk to you later? Give them 2 days and actually follow up with them. And even you can do a midday checkup, I know I said I would talk to you in 2 days, but it has been a day and I was just thinking of you, so I want to know if there's anything else I can answer your questions before we talk tomorrow, when you can tell me whether you want to do this or no. Because the inferential people will want that. And they will appreciate you for that. And then they will say yes, because you're always asking them, give me questions, give me questions, give me questions. You may not have the answers, and that's fine. But at least they know you care. This is another thing you have to understand about people. People are either visual or auditory or kinesthetic, or a combination of the two. Visual people, when you talk to them, you cannot talk about feelings or how does this sound, because they're visual. What is the sound? When you know a person is visual, you ask them, how does this look to you? And they'll be like, oh, let me tell you what I see. When you have auditory people and you talk to them about, so does this make sense? And they'll be like, what are they saying? So how does this sound to you? Use those verbs. Sound, hear, listen. Auditory people, that's what they need. Kinesthetic people, they need the feelings, the sense. How does this feel to you? Oh, let me tell you how it feels. Usually visual people, you tell them, what do you think about it? And they'll tell you what they think about it. But if you ask thinkers how they feel about it, they'll be like, let me tell you what I think about it. So you have to understand your audience. The same language is not going to work for everyone, because again, it's not about you. It's about how they perceive your information. Okay? So in the program, I take you through all the details of how to understand whether a person is visual, auditory, or kinesthetic. You can look at their face, you can see how their eyes move. You can even tell from their voice. If people who have shrill voices and they breathe shallow, visual people. People who have, when they sit, if they are laid back and they take deeper breaths and they speak slowly, kinesthetic people. So, and then not everybody is just visual, auditory, or kinesthetic. Some are visual kinesthetic, some are auditory kinesthetic, some are auditory visual. There's a combination. So once you understand your audience, then you can customize your sentences for them in a way that they are like, oh, she gets me. She knows me. He is with me. They have to feel that connection. Because again, it's not from your head, it's from your heart. So, does anyone have, so anyway, just to recap everything, what are the 6 steps? You have to define prosperity for yourself. It's a very personal way of describing it. You have to define the prosperity mindset for yourself. Okay? What are the things that you're going to tell yourself when someone says no to you? That's important, isn't it? Mm-hmm. What will you tell yourself? Are you going to go get drunk? Are you going to say next?
I'll see you later.
So it's for you to decide, what is it that you're going to tell yourself when you feel rejected, abandoned? Because these are your fears that you have to work with. I work with them every day. My clients come to me and I have to take them through all that process. Understand why prosperity is important for you, however you have defined it today, right now. Why is it important for you? Because your definition will change with time. What is important for you when you're 20 is not the same when you are 30, because your preferences have changed. Learn how to acquire a prosperity mindset. How do you do it? Like I gave you an example of, writing out what you're grateful for, Your affirmations, they have to be personalized. You cannot have generic affirmations like I'm skinny, happy, and rich, I'm skinny, happy, and rich, I'm skinny, happy, and rich. It doesn't work. Your affirmation for you. Understand. Again, we went through that. Why prosperity is elusive. Why we don't, when we know everything and still why don't we have it? Because it's our subconscious mind that's running our script. And the last thing we covered was learning how to get a yes. So I go through all these in extreme detail. Like I told you, it's a 6-hour program that will be available on the website very soon because he has it all there. All he has to do is some technical stuff, compress it, I guess, and upload it, and you will have it. And it's self-paced. Once you have it, you have it. Do it at your own pace. You don't have to sit back to back 6 hours and go through it. Do an hour a day. You can always come back, refresh, revisit. And I wanted to tell you, like next time when we do this workshop, I will be taking you through the 11 steps to goal getting. Okay, there's a book over here in the back that you can pick up. It's $10 if you want. And when you buy this book, I work with you for an hour to help you get on this. Okay, and it's for any goals that you have. Okay, it's a 12-week program. The program is free, but next week I'll just take you through everything that's over here. And then you will get the once a week thing in your inbox that you can use. And I have a few CDs, and we can upload this on your website too, One is Affirmations for Prosperous Living. It's a hypnosis that you can use to, like Richard was saying, hypnotize yourself and come up with your own, like why do you deserve to be prosperous? One is here for stress reduction. You might know someone who needs that because you guys are not stressed at all. And one for pain control. Pain. All physical pain comes from unresolved emotional pain. And unresolved emotional pain comes from the clutter of the myriad of conversations that happens at your mental level. So, through self-hypnosis, without Vicodin, You can even use it before going to your dentist, so you don't need to have your laughing gas or your numbing of your jaws and then after that look like someone who just lost everything, you know. So these CDs will be there on the website and you can pick them up if you want to. And I really thank you for your time. Thank you very much. And I'll be in the back if anyone has questions for me.